Heyo, Ospin Snakeo here with another figure review. This time we've got the Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron Robots in Disguise. Yay! There is two Megatrons out, I believe, off the top of my head. This is the Voyager version from Robots in Disguise, and there was a deluxe one which came in a 2-pack with a Optimus Prime. I did not get that one because I wanted my Megatron to be in the Voyager scale. And this is what we got. And what can I say about this guy? I actually really love him. I think he's a great figure. I do have a couple of gripes with him, but generally I think he's actually a really great figure. A good representation of how his vehicle looks, and he's got a great representation of how his robot looks. So yeah, you know, as you can see, he's in his weaponized mode with his mech tech weapon, which you can just push this purple bit in, hold on to these bits here, and you can have the blade come out and the little light up gimmick, which looks absolutely ridiculous. But this is his second weapon, which is actually pegged in there, so if I take that off you can see that a bit clearer. So ka-choo, 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 and you can kind of give himself a haircut. It's pegged in right back here, so when you put any kind of pressure on it, it does like to bend forward. So we'll take this off, and we will put that to one side, and we'll go over that in a minute. So let's go over the vehicle. The vehicle is a really nice representation. Now it's kind of interesting, in these lights and on the camera it looks like a nice kind of silver. It's actually more of like a very dull grey, and I don't like the colour of it at all really. That's one of my gripes. I would prefer it to be a lot more of a silver and grey. In fact, Arms Micron have released a version with a robot version of one of these. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it is actually a lot better coloured. In fact, if you give me just one sec. Where's it gone? There he is. So it's just there, and I think that colour scheme is, I know it's a bit hard to see because it's a pamphlet, but I think that colour scheme is a lot better than this one. But you know, a quick paint job, I've seen a few custom paint jobs, we'll fix that, and I haven't done it yet because I'm trying to do something which I will go over as one of my other gripes in a bit. But like I said, there's his robot mode. This is the official transformation for his robot mode. It's okay. I have thought of a better one in my opinion where it looks a bit better. Now with the feet here, you can either have them as like flames coming out, because he does have like 4 thrusters. He's like one here, it's like here, and then here I think he's got thrusters, or you can just like tuck them in like this so they're a bit out of the way, which is what I originally did. But I've come to actually like the whole thruster look, so you can't really have them go that way any more than that, so that's the only real choice, is like you tuck them in there or have them to be thrusters. Anyway, this is the official transformation. Like I said, the details, he's got a nice Decepticon logo there. His little eyes are sticking out, which is pretty cool. I'll go over his face sculpt in a bit. Some nice sculpting on here. This is supposed to be a grill here. What I've noticed though, compared to the toy, compared to the series, is his vehicle is a lot flatter. But this isn't massive at all. And I'll show you a size comparison in a sec. There's quite a lot of kibble at the back here. Quite a lot of robot kibble at the back, and you can quite clearly see where his legs are from the bottom, but I think it does look really nice. There's this kind of like, I don't know how well I can get it to show on the camera, but you can kind of like here, there's a bit like a grainy kind of look. This goes throughout the whole figure, like it's going down here, across here, down this part, but it's actually like moulded in, almost like they've scratched it, and it's got a texture to it if you go like that, so that's quite cool. It's a nice little detail. Yeah, he's got this like kind of light piping. I like to do that. That's quite funky for when he's like in his dark energon kind of phase. This gimmick thing doesn't work at all, so I don't know why they've made that translucent, but whatever. Right, now this is the, like I said, the official transformation. What I generally do is I detach the peg. Wow, that's really in there. I detach it from this peg here, and I actually flatten it out like that, and I rest it like that, and then you can angle it down a bit more, which is what it actually does in the series. Now if I do that, you tell me which one you think looks better. I think that looks a lot better. I think maybe if you kind of tweak it a little bit, or if you wanted, you can actually get that to go in there. Now we've come off, you can actually get the blade to go in there, so it looks like a bit more concealed and a bit more flatter, so it's not so jagged, so it's kind of going with the shape of it. But you know, like I said, that's generally how I have mine transformed. I think it looks nicer. It gives you a wider wingspan as well, because this is like here, you're only getting about that much more really, you're not getting like a massive amount, but I just think it looks better. Plus in the actual series it comes down from right here, it's not on top of the transformer like that. But like I said, that's just my opinion of how I like to transform it. Right, speaking of transform, let's actually go over into transformation. So to transform him, you do actually need to unpeg this peg here from inside that, then bring that all the way flat down there, accordion that down. You then want to unpeg, see this kind of weird shape here, there's actually pegged into that, so you want to unpeg that. So if I just hold that and pull the legs down, so that tab there was in there, you then bring the legs out of the way. Trying to get a view on the leg so we can show you what to do. You then need to flatten that down if you haven't already, put the little blade away, just on a hinge there. You then want to hinge it on here, go all the way around, and you want to clip in, where's the clasp? This lip here has to go in there, and I don't think there's anything else. Oh, and this peg on the back here goes in there. Do that, bring the heel, which is the middle spike, to there. Now it's quite interesting how they've done these like tripod little feet, because he actually has like a big foot peg there, so they could have maybe done something different there, but whatever, you know, it works. So lift that's quite tight, that push that, bring that down, flatten, accordion this whole thing down, blade away, rotate that around, peg that in, get the heel out. Alright, that's his feet, legs done. Then you want to rotate the, because they were like that, you want to rotate them to face this way, so they're actually like facing that way, and we'll leave them for now. Rotate the shoulder blades pads up like that, bring them down so they're out of the way. Then you want to separate this part here, bring that all the way around to there, bring that around to there, then bring these panels up, but at the same time bring this forward to there, to there. Right, and then you want to see this big bit here, these are quite big pegs into the actual top of the arms, so you need to unpeg them. See like that? And then once you've done that, separate at the gauntlets, just there, see those purple tabs and teeth there, and then they're both hinged on this point pin here, so you want to bring them out to there. Bring the shoulder pads back up. You do have to move the shoulder pads up and down quite a lot to get them out of the way. It's a bit of an annoyance, but it's not that bad, to be honest. Once you get them at that angle, leave them there. You then want to accordion these parts out to the side. Do that on both. Then grab this little bit here, accordion that up, so this little tab here will go in that hole there. Excuse me. Once you've done that, you can then grab the whole of the hips, and then on this pin here where my thumbnail is, bring that all the way down. It's very tight. Excuse me. And that will then, there's a little peg just there, will tab into that hole there, and that holds very, very nice. Once you do that, you can then bring the head, kind of the shoulder bit, down, and that will bring his Decepticon logo forward. Keep the arms back like that. You then want to accordion the chest pieces up, do it to both of them. Then you can bring his whole back part down, and you want to peg in these pegs here, just in the actual like armpit, go in these holes just on these pegs just here, go to them holes just there. Try and show it. 1, 2. Give that a nice tight squeeze. Bring the shoulder pads down, then you need to rotate the hands around 1, 180. The gauntlet round, sorry, and grab the hands and just hinge them out on that pin there. So 180, hinge out, down. Then you've got this kibble back. You can leave it like that if you want, or you can open it and leave it like that if you want, or you can bring it back up if you want, or you can, these kind of wherever you want. If you leave it like that, there's a very open here. What I generally do is close it like that and then leave these like that, just so they're kind of, I know they're showing, but just so they're a bit out of the way, they're not so sticky up at the back. You can, like I said, whichever you really want, to be honest. Put his feet down flat like that, grab his weapon, and then put this peg back in here, and there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of Voyagers, Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. And I've got to say that I think this is actually a really, really nice representation of how he actually looks in the series. Like I said, he's got some great stature, some great height, and I didn't do size comparisons in vehicle mode. I always forget that. We'll have to do that again at the end. And I think he does look really, really nice. He's got a pretty good articulation. I've only got one real gripe with his articulation. Might have two gripes. Transformation, people have complained about it. I think it's a pretty cool transformation. You know, it wasn't difficult once you know what you're doing. My only gripe, really major gripe, is this bloody thing here. I'd much rather just have a solid fusion cannon and attachable blade. Thankfully, Shapeways have done one, and I will be getting that. I'm going to do like a bulk buy of Shapeways and just get everything I want in once, I think. We shall see. I kind of want to do get a trial and see how good the quality of the stuff is, but haven't decided. Right, anyway. Let's do some size comparisons firstly. Here he is against the first edition Prime. He's a bit hunched. Push him back a bit. As you can see, they're pretty good in scale. You know, they're not. Prime should actually be shorter than him, but with all these Robots in Disguise editions, with all these Robots in Disguise figures, they're a lot shorter, so we can get this piece of crap here. But as I've said of that in a previous video, yeah, they're not perfect, but you know, it's okay, it's acceptable. I also have my breakdown. It's quite short compared, and I have my first edition Starscream, and that's a really, really nice scale. In fact, 2 seconds. Right, so there's the first edition Starscream like I said, and here is the Robots in Disguise Starscream. This is actually a Voyager figure. No, I haven't moved the missiles around because I've literally just quickly transformed that. Now, Starscream is supposed to be quite belittled by Megatron. It's supposed to be a lot smaller, so this one is definitely a lot better in scale, as you can see, because this one's taller than him. So, you know, there's them two. And finally, I have got Soundwave, who is also quite smaller than him, and Skyquake. No, not Skyquake, that's Dreadwing, completely forgot his name. So as you can see, he's actually pretty good scale with most of these figures. The only one that's really out of scale here. Prime a bit too big, but that's Starscream, you know. So if you have to get Starscream, first edition, but I'll go over him in another review. But as you can see, he's in pretty good scale with like most of these Transformers. So let's get rid of these guys. Quite a stretch there. Right, so let's go over his mech-tech weapon and his other thingamajiggies. Like I said, this is his mech-tech, whatever you want to call it, weapon. He has the translucent purple on the front, at the bottom for blades. No real sculpting in the actual cannon itself, although it is quite a solid piece. Although it should have like bits coming down here. Anyway, and then when you squeeze this purple bit in, you get the blade and the whole light up gimmick. There's the light there. It's supposed to shine down the blade, but as you can quite clearly see, here's my finger, it doesn't. And it doesn't look red or energized or anything. It looks rubbish. And if I grab my torch, you can see what it should look like, you know. It should kind of even I can't do it, you know, it's just not enough. There's not enough of it to really light up, so it's pointless. So that's why we pay the extra and lose some of our scale, because we get this awesome piece of thing here. And it has a spring in it, so you can't actually actually lock it into place. So whenever you let go of that, to have him have his blade out, there's his blade, it just springs back. So yay, I've been over these before, I hate them. Frankly, I have 2 of these, and this one I've taken the spring out, so you can actually see what it looks like, and it's still got the battery in it. But there you go, look, not held in by springs, and look, the blade is still not that great. You actually need the pressure of pushing it tight to keep the blade closed. And then he has this kind of little gauntlet thing, which you never ever see him use or anything. To me it kind of looks like a mini spacecraft. I don't know what you think, but this just goes in these holes just here. So you can have it on this whole hand if you want, and then the cannon, or you can put it on his opposite hand. Or if you have 2 of them, which I just so happen to do, you can have both. But anyway, put his hand in this part here, like so. Then pivot around, put it in. Then get his cannon, put it on top. So you could do that if you want, so it looks a bit more epically. Or have him on the opposite one. Just 1 second. You can put it now he never ever uses these. Whoops. Yeah, by the way, that cannon's very heavy because it's like got things in it, and he likes to topple over. Sorry, I forgot to say you could also put it on. So if you just put that little there, I can't think it's called, that bin there. Losing my English into there. But the problem with that is then it kind of like blocks the gun with the handle and thing, so that looks a bit stupid. That does look quite menacing though. It's very heavy now on the one side. Yeah, the problem with these things is, like I said, he never actually used them in the series, but I do really like them. I think they look pretty cool. So I'm quite happy that he's got them, so he's got another weapon. Right, moving on. Details in his head. He doesn't have any. He does have light piping. Didn't think he did. Focus. There we go. So that looks pretty cool. I do quite like that. And he's got kind of like. I'll put that up his butt. You can see he's kind of got a bit of a light piping going on in his chest if you get a torch. And in his gauntlets. I've actually seen someone customize this where they've put LEDs going in these parts and in here, and then when you flick a switch it all lights up, and it does look very, very cool. If you just Google custom Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron, you should find it, along with a few paint jobs. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, the head sculpt's actually okay. It's quite nice. It needs some darkening to it though. If you notice, rather than bringing him closer, let's zoom. His face is supposed to be like dirty and have like, I've lost it, my finger, right, and have like really dark mouth and like dark lines going out of it. So paint job's not great, although it does look pretty cool. Although it should be a bit more of a grey rather than metal, but you know, what are you going to do? I think the colour of the plastic's coming through, and there's those lines I was on about earlier. You know, it's more of like a whitey kind of plastic, a whitey kind of creamy colour rather than a silver. It's okay, you know, it's acceptable. The old logo, some of his like bits of workings and details. It really is a nice looking figure. Even on the underside of this, which I really didn't need to do, they've put details. This stuff is mainly hidden, like it's either behind him or it's closed around his head. So they've really kind of gone the whole 9 yards this one. Unfortunately he's got hollow legs, that's a shame. And he's got these due to the transformation, so big gaps there, it shouldn't be there. But you know, really, really, really nice figure, and just think he looks absolutely amazing. Right, the gripes I've got about him. His hip swivels are a bit loose, I'm not happy about that. He's got these, which I'm not overly happy about, but you know, there's not much you can do. I've been trying to figure out a way. The only thing you could really maybe do is do some kind of hinge where they kind of go in to there or something. I've tried several versions of clipping them together and different things, because if you undo that screw then it will pop out, but it's a bit of a pain in the bum because that purple bit's just loose and it falls off and you have to get it just right. The other gripe I've got is on the it's actually quite weird. On the deluxe version, these are actually moulded onto these, which I thought was really cool. And he has a ball peg joint, so he can rotate at the bicep or the elbow. This guy you can't. The only rotation you've got is, well, that. Let's go over his articulation. So the head is on a ball, but it's kind of hard to get out because it's the shape of it. You can go back that much, forward that much, tilt to there, and you can turn only to there, so not a massive amount. Now the shoulders are on a ball, but they're kind of hard to show you. They're actually, the pin that's holding them is actually at an angle. So if I hold that straight down and get that a bit out of the way a bit, there you go. So you can only really like do the arm forward if you get it just right, like that. And then you can get it all the way out to the side, but you have to get it just right. But thankfully someone has shown a custom, which I will show you in a minute, of how to fix that. Nothing in the bicep, as I said, no rotation in the elbow. You just have a simple cut, which is about 90 degrees. Then you have a rotation in the glove or gauntlet of 360, and then a hinge on the wrist. Just go from there to there. Nothing in the waist, nothing in the torso. T-cut hips. You can go all the way to there, so that's a really good range of motion. And you can rotate them round on the upper thigh from, you can do 360 if you angle it slightly. That kind of gets in the way, but not greatly. The knee bends just over 90 degrees, and the toes kind of angle from there to there, so however you really want it, really. You've got a bit of articulation in them. And then the shoulder pads are on a hinge here and then on a ball there, I guess. So you can move them out of the way or to pose it however you want. Now, if I put him to one side, it looks like he's twisted for some reason. I don't know why. Right, now grab my other one. I've got two because I said that these are very loose, so I tried to glue mine a little bit to tighten them up, and unfortunately when I did so, this one seized, and when I tried to loosen it, it just snapped straight off, so I can no longer rotate that one. This one's fine, but I can't rotate that one. So that's why I have two. Anyway, what if I take this off, what this guy did, I saw in his review, on his video, he spent a 17-minute video showing how to cut off, focus, there you go, to cut off this and this, and he made it into a 17-minute video. Not quite sure why it had to be so long, but he did. Just ever so carefully trim away what you need. Now this is his left arm, okay, so there's a left hand, well it's a bit blurry, but you just ever so carefully trim away just what you need, and then you trim away that, and I'll show you exactly what that does. Put that back on. Okay, let's get the pad out of the way. As you can see now, when I lift it up, because it's trimmed out the inside of it, the peg goes down a lot easier, and because it took out that bit of corner, you're not scraping against the armour anymore. So you can now bring his arm out. This one I haven't done because I wanted to show you the difference, so there you can see. That's a lot better. A lot easier as well, so he's got much range of motion in that. The other thing I want to do is replace this swivel joint with a ball joint, which shouldn't be too difficult, so then I can give him an elbow rotation. I prefer bicep rotations, but I think that's going to be the easiest one to do, and I'll still be able to keep transformation. After I've done that, I'm then going to give that guy a paint job, and I'll figure out what to do with that one. So, yeah, you know, that's a quick little custom tip. It's a really great figure. If you haven't got a Megatron in your Transformers Prime collection, this guy is a really great figure to get. He's got a few gripes, but pretty much every figure these days have small gripes. So definitely pick him up if you can see him. Right, so to transform him back, bring his wings all the way out, get them out of the way. Now you want to unpeg these. Remember, the armpits are going into the chest. So just pull that out, keep hold of the chest, and it should all just pop straight out. So let's reintegrate, them pegs went into there. Okay. You then want to bend the hands in and then rotate these all the way around so they're facing outwards. They want to bend on these hinges in, and I want to line up these pegs. Once they're all lined up, you then want to put these giant pegs into these big holes. Now they're that big for a reason, because obviously they have to be, you have to take quite a bit of a push to get them in. Right, and then that's that done. Then you want to accordion the chest plates out and down, only to there, only to there, and then bring the whole neck part up, and that's where you want that. Then want to grab the whole of the hips and bring that straight down, and then go all the way back with that. Accordion his crutch part, or his belly I guess, and bring that all the way forward to there. Accordion his chest, down to the side there, down to the side there, and that's that part done. You then can bring shoulder pads down, bring them down together the way, bring these parts down here, and bring these parts around here, get these out of the way. What am I snagged on? There you go. You need to lift up this purple bit, because if you don't, these bits will not go back. Bring them back there, and they just clasp together there. That's pretty much the top of the ship done. Bring the shoulders back, rotate them that way, rotate them that way, get them out of the way there. Then you need to point the legs inwards, like so. And this way you want to close the toes. You want to unhinge these. In fact, if I do it this way, rotate it outwards like that. I've gone the wrong way, rotate it that way, and then you can do, I'll do the official transformation. You want to line up this peg with that like cup there. Okay, then you want to accordion this up, and then you want to line up, I've lost my bit, I think it's that part. Yeah. Now you want to put your finger in there and push it down, because if you don't, then it won't really get clipped that well. Bring his little hook out, and that's one side done. Bring that round there, close that, peg that into there, accordion that up, bring that round, put your finger in. Didn't need to go over the shoulder pad. If you don't have it just right, it will pop out, unfortunately. But once you get the top and bottom done, there you go. Bring the hook out, and there we have Megatron back in his vehicle mode, and you can put your fusion cannon back on here. You know, all in all, like I said, I do think this is a really great representation. A few size comparisons. Here we have against Dreadwing in his vehicle mode, so they're quite well scaled. Here's the Bumblebee, which has been in quite a lot of my videos. So you can see he's got a lot of size on the Bumblebee. Here is a vehicle. Again, a lot of size on the vehicle. And right, if I put him in the middle, here is the Robots in the Skies Voyager Starscream, and here is the first edition Deluxe Starscream. And I thought the Deluxe Starscream was a bit small when I first got him, but after watching the show a bit more, I've realised that he's a very small jet, so I'm very happy with this Starscream. I originally got this one, so I was going to have this for his jet and then that for his robot, but yeah, I'm not even going to use this in my collection anymore. So if I maybe stand them up, I don't know if I can stand them up because these guys are so... we can stand Megatron up, and I'll hold these, just so you can get a comparison of how big Megatron is compared to Starscream. So he's really big out there. And finally, here he is next to the Deluxe Soundwave. Soundwave's got like a lot of length, but very skinny. So all in all, as you can see, he looks very good with most of these figures. So definitely the one to get if you want a Megatron for your Transformers Prime collection. But anyway, there you go, guys. As per usual, thanks a lot for watching. Please leave your comments and links below. Please subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.